Hello, this is Gron, and just wanted to do a video on how religion is such a good business to be in. Why do I say that? Because it is. Just look at how my parents buy into this religion, this cult, sect, whatever you want to call it, that's in my eyes evil, even though my parents and everybody that's religious would say I'm evil for pointing out that religion is just a business, and a bad one at that doesn't deliver any product except for more mythology and hate, and no good comes from religion. Or I take that back. There is some religion, there has been some good come out of religion, but the most part it's a lot of brainwashing. I was brainwashed as a kid. It was, you believe this, you dress this way, you dress all nice and proper and be a goody two-shoe Christian boy or girl. That's how I was raised. And you do exactly what your parents say, which is to obey God and his laws and all that nonsense. So this first one is God ? Why do children suffer? Well, because for one, he's a construct of man that doesn't exist, and two, it's why so many of the faith healings don't work, because the children die and then the parents get hauled off to jail for manslaughter and whatever other, and child abusement and child neglect and a myriad of other horrible things that if the parents took the child to the hospital, he may have survived. But no, hospitals are evil, even though there's plenty of religious cults that have hospitals around. There's missions today with Quiet Hour Ministries, which I have to laugh at. The Quiet Hour Ministries, it's not quiet at all. It's selling you something that doesn't exist, and people buy into this crap. And here's where I really gasp. $40 for just a regular DVD. That screams business opportunity right there. That is a freaking lot for a DVD. It's not even Blu-ray. It's just standard regular DVD. Along with this is only $10, but still. And going back to this DVD, Christ in the Covenants, sure. The covenant to be bound by your religion and the one conning you out of your money. In my religion, it was 10% right off the top, and some even give more than that 10%. Remember the Sabbath? Why? Why should I remember it? It's just a man-made construct to get people to pay out money. Mind you, all of this is done tax-free. All you have to do is believe in some kind of God and you get tax-free church status. which needs to stop. The one, $16. These are popular ones that my parents like to give out to their other Christian cultists or other sects of Christianity. It's these books right here. $13. 13. And I'm sure this one's probably 13 to 15 as well, although it doesn't say. The golden oil, huh? What? The nature, huh? What nature? That God's a tyrant child that likes to murder, kill, and likes to screw with people's minds and screw up people's lives. Yeah, that's the nature of God. Healing the orphan spirit. All that Father God has is ours. Okay. In this very hour. Okay. What hour? Was it the last hour or this hour or what hour? That makes no sense. All of creation? Sorry. Not buying that. It's groaning. All of creation is groaning. Okay. If you, the only groaning I'm doing is that people are suckered into buying this bullshit. For the sons of and daughters of God to be revealed. Okay. Well, the fact is that when the sons and daughters of God are revealed, some other sect and cult is going to call them out on their bullshit and say you're not the sons and daughters of God because what our sect and cult is. It is time for us to come into the fullness of who we're created to be. I wasn't created. I was popped out of my mother's nether regions, so I was formed in the womb, not created by some monkey flinging his feces around. So all of creation will come back to Father God's house. Why would I want to go to that tyrant's house? He wants to kill anyone that disagrees with him. He doesn't love anyone that disagrees with him. He hates everybody that isn't in his cult. Father God never intended for us to live as orphans. What about the damn orphans that are living in an orphanage, that don't have a family, that don't have, or if they have parents, they treat the kid like crap, and the kid gets taken away from their folks. So what are you talking about? Never intended us forced to live as orphans, because there's plenty of orphans out there, and God did intend us to be orphans because He left us here to put up with bullshit. That is, if I believed in some tyrant God, but I don't. Without a father or without a home, well, and why is it always orphans without a father or without a home? Why isn't it orphans without a family or a father or a mother or whatever else? It's like it's got to always be without a father or something, and receive a revelation of how to live from your identity as a child. How about giving your child the choice to choose if he wants to believe in your nonsense or not, instead of forcing this bullshit and forcing them to abide by their law, which is basically what it is the parents laying down the law, which is not God at all. It's the parents. The orphan spirit cannot be cast out. Well, yes, it can be. Some people move, it's called moving on. It can only be displaced by love, because perfect love casts out all fear. There is no perfect love. There's only loving as best as you can, because God certainly is not about love. It's about keeping His people in bondage. And come home to your Father. Well, since I work at home, my Father comes to me every day from His work. So, well known for His ability to stir a passion in Christians for missions. Well, to stir a hatred for themselves and for others, because you have to tell them that, hey, you've got something wrong with you, so you have to have some antidote, which is Jesus. And then you just pray to Him and you're all forgiven. You just pray hard enough and He'll forgive you for that horrible murder that you did, or the thousands of people that you murdered. Yeah, just pray to Jesus. He'll forgive you. That's the sort of religion I belong to, and I want nothing to do with anymore, because I was in this Jesus camp. Yeah. Leave Hitland. Oh, selling your books, making a profit. Real good of you. Is the founder of a global mission awareness with the purpose of raising up an army. Yeah, I can believe that, because your army is a bunch of zombies that eat the brains of the logical thinkers of Great Commission Christians. Yeah, woo. Let's beat our chests and be boastful of being a Christian, because we love to hate. We put that sugar coating onto our face, smile, and give a swift kick in the back of somebody's butt. And he believes we're heading into the home stretch of the greatest race in human history, which I'm not running a marathon here. I don't know why he's in the home stretch of the greatest race in human history when I I doubt that he's racing anybody, and I'm not racing anybody, so yeah, the cult's been going past like a flaming torch. That's for sure. He's saying it's only 2,000 years ago. Well, the last update it was 5,000 years ago. Sorry, dude. You've got the wrong years. And that's a lie. We are dedicated to the 66,000 people who will die today, having lived their entire lives never once hearing the gospel of Jesus Christ. Yeah, they've heard it. People like me have heard it. 25 years of the bullshit getting crammed through my eardrums, getting mentally abused by people that are supposed to be Christian, that go behind your back, stab you, and pretend to be your friend. But in reality, they're out for your blood. Overcoming roadblocks to healing. Yeah, because I want to read a book about healing your psyche from a religious evangelical teacher. Yeah, I don't think so. I'd rather go to a shrink than read that thing. The Keeper's Calling. Yeah. $18. Gotta love this quote. Do not be afraid, for I am with you. I will bring your children from the east and gather you from the west. Okay, why would I be afraid? If you're in this religion, why would you be afraid in the first place anyways? I'm not afraid of imaginary, mythical, fantasy fairies. Messiah, the Jesus of the Quran and the Gospels. Muslim Jesus, Christian Jesus. Oh, sorry. Muslim Jesus equals Christian Jesus, question mark. Yeah, pretty much. They're pretty much the same. They're pretty much tyrants. They're pretty much both tyrants that want you to keep buying books. Because yeah, religion isn't a business. It's saving them souls from whatever they claim is, because it's evil. Everybody's evil and out to get them. That's the Christian mindset. It stirs lots of distrust amongst even the same church. Hell, my church, there was a division of people that were the traditionalists and those that were willing to change. So even pot stirring and name calling is in the same church. It was from my church that I used to go to anyway, but I don't anymore. DeSozo, reversing the worst evil. What? That religion rots your brain and make zombies, brainless zombies out of people, yes, that should be reversed. Because it is the most evil that a man can do to another human being, is throw this bullshit down people's kids' throats. Islam and Christianity in prophecy, huh? Only now can the complete picture of Bible prophecy be told. Well, actually, you pick and choose. That's a big lie. Complete picture of Bible prophecy? Right. If you told the whole Bible prophecy, you wouldn't want your kids to go to that church, because the Bible is full of incest, rape, child molestation, being glad to smash a baby upon rocks. You're supposed to be glad. You're supposed to be glad that you're smashing a baby amongst the rocks and killing it. That's really what made me an atheist, because I read that and I went, what the fuck? That can't be. And then I read past where all the Christians usually use the bashing homosexual bullshit. I read past that, and Lot whored out his 2 daughters to the mass. He said, "Take my virgin daughters, they have not laid with any man. Take them, I beg you." They did not. And later you read on, and the daughters got their father drunk and knocked, and the whole point of them the daughters getting their father drunk is because the father didn't have any sons by any, and so they wanted to give their father a son, and so they got Lot drunk, pissed drunk, and had children. But of course, the preacher doesn't want you to know about that, because I know Christianity and the people that belong to it, they don't read their Bible. I didn't, until I wanted to prove an atheist wrong, and in turn I became an atheist because I actually for once read that horrible book that everyone's so happy to shit all over you on. And this is not even half of what my folks buy into. There are, of course, they of course have the Bible, and they have and let me tell you, Bible business is a good business to be in, because this cost well over $100 to get. I think it was like $150 to get this plush leather bound Bible. And just to prove that I was in the cult of Christianity, that is my name. Well, this shows the tyranny of God. Leviticus 20. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Again you shall say to the children of Israel, whoever of the children of Israel or of the strangers who dwell in Israel, who gives any of his descendants to Melech, he shall surely be put to death. So that's really childlike to put somebody to death because someone gives a descendant to someone called Melech, or it's a town, or what the hell. I have no idea. But God says, commands you to be put to bed. Yeah, put to bed. Yeah, that's right. Put to death. So yeah, if you think that's not tyrant behavior, then your head needs to be examined by a shrink and a physician and maybe a lawyer, maybe a lawman too. Yes, the ever popular stone the person. The people of the land shall alone stone him with stones. Yeah, that's showing your love, because God loves you, even though that proves right there in Leviticus 21 through 2 that God is a frickin' tyrant child that throws a tantrum at everything that people do. What about the 10 Commandments that thou shalt not kill? Did God just forget his commandments because that's killing somebody? I don't care if it's God or the spaghetti monster that said that. He's going back on his 10 Commandments to thou shalt not kill. So what the fuck, God? What the fuck are you doing? Oh, penalty of blasphemy. There's that tyranny again. Boy, God sure is love. But you have a penalty for blasphemers right there. Oh, kill them fuckers. Kill them. Because God said to. Gee, thanks God. You're so loving that you want to kill anybody that says shit about you that isn't in the cult. That basically anybody that, like me, that calls bullshit on this. I am to die, is what God is saying. Oh, poor Israelite woman's son blasphemed the name of the Lord fucking Christ Almighty, cursed, and so they brought him to Moses, and the mother's name was Shalamoth. Why I give a shit about what the mother's name was. The daughter of Deborah of the tribe Dan. Okay, like I give a shit about all this shit. Then they put him in custody that the mind of the Lord might be shown to them. Yep. The kid was an atheist. Poor kid. And now they're going to they are trying to brainwash him. He's not going to, he's going to say fuck off, and then the Lord is going to smite him, of course. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Take outside the camp him who has cursed. Then let all who heard him lay their hands on his head, and let all the congregation stone him." Yep, pretty much. He was an atheist. The cult did not like it, so they stoned the shit out of him. Yeah, that's a real loving God. Tyrant of a God that I once worshipped and adored, thought I was good, and thought he was good, until I actually read the Bible, and then I didn't buy into the bullshit anymore, and saw religion for what it really is. It's just a cash cow for the thieves. It's a thieves' den. Why isn't more Christians lending to the poor, Right here it says, if in Leviticus 25:35, it says, "If one of your brethren becomes poor and falls into poverty among you, then you shall help him like a stranger or a sojourner, and that he may live with you." So it's the only. So the only thing I really see religion doing is throwing Bibles at people that really need, like in Africa, that actually don't need a Bible. They need food, water, drink, whatever, and what they get is some unedible piece of shit that gets dropped over there. Take no usury or interest from him, but fear your God, that your brother may live with you. Why would I fear God? If God is such a loving God, then why do you fear him? You should not lend him your money for usury, nor lend him your food at a profit. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to give you the land of Canaan, and to be your God. Well, he's not my God. Ah, yes, how to keep your slave. That's a good one. The law concerning slavery. That's a good one. To keep slaves. So it talks all about keeping your slaves. And then Jesus confirms that how to keep your slave. Yes, this is a big one that religion uses is, "Oh, we're sinful." Well, that's a made-up word. There is no such thing as sin. It's just made up for people to be put in line and in servitude to their bondage of their God. And if you thought I was making up the Lot whoring out his daughters and then knocking them up, here in Genesis 19:8, "See now, I have 2 daughters who have not known a man. Please let me bring them out to you, and you may do to them as you wish. Only do nothing to these men, since this is the reason they have come under the shadow of my roof." So in modern speak, that's whoring out your daughters to get them to move on. Is basically what Lot is. He doesn't give 2 shits about his daughters. He's trying to make them into sex slaves and selling the multitude outside into taking his daughters. And if I was Lot's daughters, I would be pissed off at him. But and they said, "Stand back." Then they said, "This one came in to stay here, and he keeps acting as a judge. Now we will deal worse with you than with them." So they pressed hard against the man Lot and came near to break down the door. But the man reached out their hands and pulled Lot into the house with them and shut the door. And they struck the men who were at the doorway of the house with blindness, although that's some pretty strong flashbangs they have there to cause blindness, or some kind of wizardry, which the Bible is full of wizardry and sorcery and witchcraft and everything, which that's evident right there that the so-called angels struck everyone with blindness, which it was a flashbang, or what the equivalent is of a flashbang is, both small and great, meaning that it was men, women, and children that they blinded. Another loving God that we have here. And so they became wary, trying to find the door. And Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed, because God hates the two cities that were warring. So God said, "I'm going to destroy these assholes," and because they're too religious, and they were fighting over religious shit. And so God just said, "No, I'm fed up with you. I don't want your worship anymore, so I'm going to kill you and destroy you completely." So here's where it gets real juicy with the incest in Genesis 19:30. Then Lot went up out of Zoar and dwelt in the mountains, and his two daughters were with him, for he was afraid to dwell in Zoar. And he and his two daughters dwelt within a cave. Yeah, that's great. God makes homeless people. Oh yeah, we're going to blow up where you stay, even though God could have smited everyone around him and left Lot's house unscathed, but yet he has to go live in a cave because his so-called God is going to crush every house there, including his own house. So, gee, that loving God right there, making Lot homeless. That's just fantastic for Lot and his daughters. And he has no food, no water, so he has to go out hunting and find water. Yeah, that's loving God, because God certainly didn't provide jack shit for Lot at this time. Now the firstborn said to the younger, "Our father is old, and there is no man on the earth to come into us as in the custom of all the earth. Okay, what? All, there was no man. Once Sodom and Gomorrah was crushed by God, there was no man anywhere to be seen, or there was no other towns. I mean, what the hell is with that? That makes no sense whatsoever. The sick, twisted truth is that the daughters of Lot wanted to stook their father and have kids by Lot, is the truth of the matter. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him. That we may preserve the lineage of our father. So they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father, and he did not know when she lay down or when she arose. Meaning, he was so fucking drunk that he didn't know what the hell was going on, and the girls planned it that way. That's just, I'm just sickened by people that think that this God of theirs is so good, and this Bible that they give to kids is so great, when this is evidence that the Bible is horrendous and filled with disgusting things. It's appalling that anybody would tell these incestuous, this porno to kids. It happened on the next day that the firstborn said to the younger, "Indeed, I lay with my father last night. Let us make him drink wine tonight also, and you go in and lie with him, that we may preserve the lineage of our father." So, yeah, stooking his father once wasn't enough. The firstborn had to tell the younger child to stook him, so that there's two babies being plopped out from incest. Then they made their father drink wine that night also, and the younger arose and lay with him, and he did not know when she lay down or when she arose. Again, getting so drunk that he probably passed the shit out and didn't know what the hell was going on. Thus, both the daughters of Lot were with child by their father, the firstborn of his son, and called his name Moab. He is the father of the Moabites to this day. Okay, if you say so. And the younger, she also bore a son and called his name Ben-Ami. He is the father of the people of Ammon to this day. Okay, if you say so. So yeah. For those that think that I was making up the incest stories, yeah, it's not made up. Well, yeah, it is made up, because I don't believe in this horrific, incestuous, pornographic, murderous God that is in the Bible. But I'm never, if I ever have kids, I'm never gonna I might let them read this, but I'll tell him it's fiction and not, and to choose if he wants to join a cult or not.